Morning. It's almost 7 o'clock. I got dropped back off back at the trailhead. I'm doing 18 today. I'll start in New Jersey. I'll finish in New York out here. As you can see, it's been raining. The weather just broke, so I'm gonna try to take advantage of it. They say it's supposed to pick back up at 3 o'clock out here. Time to go play with some cows, I guess. When I was in Dunkin' Donuts using their computer, using their internet, I saw a familiar face walk in, civilian clothes, the whole nine. I'm looking at this dude and I'm like, wasn't you hiking with some other guy? Aren't you on a trail? And he's like, oh yeah, well, I got what I wanted to out of the trail. I live in this area, so I decided to just get off the trail. And we just dropped him off in somewhere in New York, so he's still on the trail. And I was, I don't know, I just thought it was interesting, whatever. So yeah, I guess as hikers start to hike home, the call is just too strong and they just slide off. He was a strong hiker too, out here. I hate going through grass fields after a rain. Everything is just wet. Everything that touches you drenches you. Sounds like a jungle in here. I just went the wrong way for 2 miles. Maybe I was drawn to the cows, or maybe I wasn't paying attention when I got a ride into town, but it happens out here. Let's try this again. Going north. By the way, as you know, I pulled into that hostel that night. It was a ghost town. Then the next morning and the following day as well, ghost town. So, I don't know, like all the hikers fell off the face of the earth from where I'm standing. Maybe they're out here. I'll keep an eye out for them out here. This is Checkpoint Alpha. This is the first shelter of the day. Last shelter in New Jersey. And at the next one, we'll be in New York, and that's where I'll be staying tonight. And that is 12 miles away from here. Looks small. Yep. Black water. This is the border.
Oh God, I didn't even see that.
New Jersey.
Nice.
New York. Damn.
You welcome, OG. I made you hot,
nigga. Unfortunately, we're leaving behind true bear country. I wanted to have been able to show you some more bears, but not to say that they don't exist in New York. They don't recognize boundaries, but I've never seen one in New York. So, out here. What is this? Iwo Jima? Flag just flying out of nowhere. Somebody took the hill. I find that people in this spot adds perspective. Having served a stint with the old guard in Fort Myer, Virginia, there's a ritual to flying a flag. To say that, for example, that flag on the mountain, there was no lighting there. So if the flag is not lit at night, and somebody has to take it down at sunset. If not, then there has to be a light on the flag during the night hours and whatnot. Apparently, whoever put that flag there didn't know or didn't care. I can't see somebody walking up on this mountain to take it down. But I'll tell you what, though, it doesn't appear to be in any disrepair. That flag that was in front of that church, that was an abomination as far as I'm concerned. Anyway, so now you know, out here. New York is the land of boulders.
We're being challenged.
I see. I can't go up till you come down. I'm in no hurry.
You know what? You're not. I'm throwing that pole up over the top of that beside you to the on your left.
So you know my spot device? You turn it on the side, and then there's a flap you have to lift up for emergency.
Yeah,
Press
all
the
right.
button,
You can. That's it. You can get your hand up over there.
and
See how steep that is? I had to set the camera down and help her. I'm not so much of a bystander that I would watch someone in peril when I know I can help her down, so that's what I did out here. These mosquitoes are bloodthirsty, boy. It's been pouring down rain all day. All day.
I'm just gonna take a walk.
Here's
man.
the shelter. Huh?
I stayed here last night.
It don't-
Pack up my stuff. I'll walk in there somewhere.
I have a tent, man. I'm not tripping. Guy sitting in the shelter, got his dog laid out over the whole shelter. He's saying the dog is okay. You go to get food. I mean, you know, come in the shelter, the dog's growling at you. I tell you, some people out here. As I said, it rained all day, so I set my tent up. To be honest with you, the shelter was a piece of crap. I wouldn't sleep in that anyway. the dog just made the decision that much easier. But let's be honest. I mean, let me be honest. I don't blame the dog. I wouldn't want to be out here in the rain either. So nothing against him. It is something funny though. After that exchange, I went down here and I set my tent up, and the dog left the shelter and like just meandered. You know what I'm saying? That's the perfect word, because that's what the dog was doing. I'm like a good 25 meters from the shelter. So unbeknownst to the owner who's sitting in the shelter, he looks like some drunk dude. I'm just being honest. He's not a Thriker. I don't know what he's doing out here. Unbeknownst to the owner, the dog just walked his way down. He's coming to me, and I'm looking up like, I'm looking at the dog, but then I realize, okay, I got it, So anyway, the dog comes down. He gets like close enough to me to get a vibe off me, and I'm ignoring him. And so he comes a little bit closer, and then he drops his head. And so I'm like, okay, I patted him, like, okay, yeah, whatever. Basically, the dog came to apologize. After I patted him, he just ran back up to the shelter. That dog don't know me from Adam, but from that exchange. And it's an old dog, so it's very wise and mature. But yeah, that was an interesting exchange. And like I said, the owner, he's in the shelter. He had no idea what was going on. But when I initially saw it, I was about to get on the owner for not watching this dog, because I didn't know what the dog temperament was. Meanwhile, he's looking at me and he's coming towards my direction, and the owner has no idea what's going on with his animal. But that was cool. That was a good exchange. And I would venture to say the dog is wiser than him. I don't mean to be belittling people, but like I said, what are you doing out here? You're taking up the shelter. Your dog don't belong out here. I mean, he's following his master. It's like, you're not hiking, dude. Go home. And in weather like this, when it's just pouring down rain and every seat counts in that shelter, that's not cool out here. This is why I hate the rain. Because when everything is wet, like my pants, for example, they're not all the way wet, but they're damp enough. When everything is wet, it can't dry. The environment won't allow it to dry. So basically, everything that's damp, that's probably the best way to put it. My socks are damp. My pants are damp. My shirt is damp. But that anything that's close to me will dry when I go to sleep. But when I wake up in the morning, I'm putting on wet socks. I'm putting on wet pants, or damp as it were. And that's what I don't like, because now you got this whole kind of like, it makes you feel like a kid wearing around a used diaper, or a diaper that's soiled, And if it rains tomorrow, or if it stays in this kind of environment tomorrow, I'll be soaking wet again. That's why at the end of the day, you almost have to pull over and dry your clothes, because they will rot right off your back. It doesn't matter how strong the material is. They weren't made for that. So anyway, that's what I don't like about it. But tomorrow is going to be a 22-mile day. But at the 21 miles from here, there's a park. And at that park, they got like restrooms, they got showers, they got vending, and you can even order food, And then Bear Mountain's going to be after that. Well, anyway, we can talk about this later. As much as I hate packing a wet tent, I hate sleeping in the dank shelter, when it's all wet and everything and there's bugs flying. So at this point, I'm going to have to settle for the lesser of two evils and just pack a wet tent, and deal with it. I'm not tripping though. Today was 18 miles. Tomorrow will be 22. And we'll go from there. Out here. Good morning. It rained all night. I'm wearing wet clothes. And I'm carrying wet items. It's just the way it is. Anyway, 22.8, we'll call it 23 miles today. I'm going to the Palisades State Park, where I'm going to probably try to dry my tent out if the weather gets better. Maybe order a pizza or something. And then at the end of the day, we're going to head out 1 more mile to the shelter. There's no water at the shelter. There's nothing there. It's just a shelter, which is why I'm gonna eat dinner and take care of everything I need to do 1 mile beforehand. So all I would have to do is just pitch my tent, go to bed, wake up in the morning. Tomorrow is Bear Mountain, New York. Where, you know, the bridge, all that stuff. I'm thinking I'm gonna pull over, get a hotel, dry everything out, and go from there. At this point, I can't whine about the prices of hotels. I mean, think about it. New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, you may as well call that Boston, Vermont. These places are expensive. So from this point on, it's just gonna be, you know, you're probably gonna see your money just dwindle. We'll see if I can find a place to dry my clothes. I mean, you know, at the end of the day, it's about the facilities and not necessarily the pampering. I've been out here long enough. I can rough it, but like I said, I got to put my gear first, and I can't walk around with mildew clothes or things that's gonna rot right off my back. So the responsible thing to do would be to pull over, take care of my gear. So that's what we're looking at out here. I won't be taking too much footage today. Obviously, everything is wet, but I'll show you what I can out here. This is why New York is my favorite state, because it's so unexpected to see all this majesty. I mean, look at this, dude. This is like, I don't know, it's just like something you just wouldn't think you'd find it here. It's cavernous, it's amazing. I don't know if I told you this or not, but I call New York the Boulder country. Out here. Fairway. Going up. I'm half expecting to see a mountain lion just emerge somewhere, or a wolf or something. Straight up. It's a pity they don't have a ladder here. You gotta climb.